Cheese often gets a bad rap. Too fatty, too salty, too indulgent. But what if I told you that certain cheeses, when chosen carefully, could actually play a role in rebuilding muscle after the age of 65? Believe it or not, the secret to combating sarcopenia might already be in your fridge, wrapped in wax paper and waiting to surprise you. In this video, I'm going to reveal 3 specific cheeses packed with the proteins, healthy fats, and essential nutrients your aging muscles crave. These aren't your run-of-the-mill snack cheeses. They're potent, natural muscle repair allies that more and more doctors and researchers are quietly recommending to seniors over 65. Stay with me until the end, and I'll show you exactly how to enjoy them from maximum strength with minimal risk. I'm Dr. Paul Anderson, and after almost 30 years of helping older adults regain strength and mobility, I've discovered something unexpected. The right type of cheese isn't just safe, it can actually be one of the most powerful foods for maintaining muscle mass after 65. Sarcopenia, the gradual and often unnoticed muscle loss that impacts millions, doesn't have to be your fate. Today, I'll share how 3 tasty, everyday cheeses can help you stay strong, balanced, and independent much longer than you might imagine. So grab a pen and paper, you're definitely going to want to take notes. Let's start with cottage cheese. I know what you might be thinking. It probably brings back memories of those old 80s diet plans. But the truth is, this modest cheese is actually one of the most potent muscle-building foods for older adults. Here's why cottage cheese stands out. Just half a cup of low-fat cottage cheese delivers 14 grams of high-quality protein for only 81 calories. That means nearly 70% of its calories come from protein. Compare that to regular cheddar, where only about 24% of the calories come from protein, and you can see why cottage cheese plays in a different league. But it's not just the protein content that matters. Each half-cup serving contains over 1 gram of leucine, a special amino acid that acts like the ignition key for your muscle-building engine. As we age, our muscles become more resistant to growth and need extra leucine to get the signal. Older adults need around 3 grams of leucine per meal to fully kickstart muscle growth, and just 1 serving of cottage cheese gets you about 1/3 of the way there. What I appreciate most about cottage cheese for my older patients is how simple it is to enjoy. Many tell me they struggle to chew tougher meats or notice their appetite has declined with age. Cottage cheese, on the other hand, is soft, creamy, and remarkably easy on the digestive system. You can eat it straight from the tub, pair it with fruit for breakfast, or blend it into smoothies where you won't even notice it's there. The main protein in cottage cheese is called casein, and that's especially important for older adults. Casein is a slow-release protein, meaning it delivers a steady flow of amino acids to your muscles for 6 to 8 hours. It's like having a time-release muscle safeguard working for you all day. This is particularly valuable at night. Having cottage cheese before bed can help stop your body from breaking down muscle while you sleep. The research on cottage cheese is impressive. Studies involving nearly 1,000 older adults found that those who made it part of their daily routine gained notable muscle mass over time. The slow-digesting casein protein was especially effective at preserving muscle during periods of low activity.
Here are some practical ways to enjoy cottage cheese for breakfast. Try pairing it with berries and a drizzle of honey. The natural sweetness makes it tasty, and you'll get both protein and antioxidants. If you like savory options, mix cottage cheese with chopped tomatoes, cucumber, and fresh herbs such as dill or chives. For lunch, it makes a great protein-rich base for dips or spreads. At dinner, you can stir it into casseroles or use it as a lighter swap for ricotta and pasta dishes. If you're not a fan of the texture at first, blend cottage cheese with fruit to create a protein smoothie. You truly won't notice the flavor, but you'll still reap all the muscle-building benefits. Some of my patients even replace mayonnaise with cottage cheese in chicken or tuna salad. For best results, aim for half a cup to a full cup per day, and I especially recommend having it at breakfast. After fasting overnight, your muscles are most ready to absorb protein in the morning. That early serving of cottage cheese can prime your body for better muscle growth all day long. The second powerhouse, Parmesan cheese, nutrition in concentrated form. Now, let's move on to our next muscle-building champion, and this one might surprise you. It's Parmesan cheese, or as the Italians say, Parmigiano Reggiano. While you might think of Parmesan as just a topping for pasta, this aged cheese is actually one of the most nutrient-dense, muscle-supporting foods available. Here's what's impressive. Just 1 ounce, about the size of your thumb, delivers over 10 grams of complete protein, making it one of the highest protein cheeses you can find. For older adults who tend to eat smaller portions, that kind of concentration is invaluable. But Parmesan gets even more interesting when you look at how it's made. Authentic Parmesan is aged for at least 24 months, and during that time, natural enzymes break down its proteins into smaller, more digestible fragments. It's almost as if the cheese has been pre-digested for you, making it exceptionally easy on the stomach. This matters because as we age, our digestive systems become less efficient. Many of my patients say they feel bloated or uncomfortable after eating protein-rich foods, but thanks to its unique aging process, Parmesan is incredibly gentle to digest. In fact, after 2 years of aging, authentic Parmesan has virtually no lactose, which means even those who are lactose intolerant can usually enjoy it without trouble. Parmesan offers more than just protein. It's also a calcium powerhouse. A single ounce contains 331 milligrams of calcium, which is about 25% of your daily requirement. You might be thinking calcium is for bones, right? Well, yes, but your muscles need it too. Every muscle contraction depends on calcium to work correctly. Without enough of it, your muscles simply can't perform at their best, no matter how much protein you consume. Recent studies have revealed something fascinating. Older adults who fall short on daily calcium intake face a much higher risk of losing muscle mass over time. So when you enjoy Parmesan, you're not only supplying your body with protein to build muscle, you're also giving those muscles the calcium they need to contract efficiently. I know some of you might be thinking authentic Parmigiano Reggiano can be pricey, but here's the thing about Parmesan. Because it's so nutrient-dense, you really don't need much. Just 1 to 2 ounces a day is enough to make a real impact on your muscle health, and that's only about 2 tablespoons when freshly grated. And speaking of grating it fresh, this is key. The pre-grated containers you find in stores just can't compare to the real deal. Freshly grated Parmesan offers better flavor, better nutrition, and greater satisfaction with smaller amounts because the taste is so much richer. Here are some simple ways to work Parmesan into your daily meals. At breakfast, grate it over scrambled eggs for a combination that delivers more than 20 grams of protein to kickstart your day. At lunch, sprinkle it generously over soups and salads. The rich, savory flavor instantly elevates everything. For dinner, top your vegetables with it or make a simple, protein-packed gratin using cauliflower or broccoli. You can even enjoy small chunks of Parmesan as a snack, paired with nuts or fruit. That blend of protein, calcium, and bold flavor makes it incredibly satisfying. When shopping, look for wheels marked Parmigiano Reggiano with the distinctive dotted rind. It's worth choosing authentic Parmesan because its superior nutrition and flavor mean you'll be happy with smaller portions, making it surprisingly economical over time. The third secret weapon is ricotta cheese, the fast-acting muscle builder. Our final muscle-building cheese is ricotta, and it has a unique quality that sets it apart from all others. Ricotta is made from whey, the liquid left over after producing other cheeses. While that might sound like just a byproduct, it's actually the source of ricotta's impressive muscle-building benefits. Here's why this is so important. Most cheeses are primarily made of casein protein, which digests slowly over several hours. Ricotta, however, contains a significant amount of whey protein, the fastest absorbing protein you can eat. Your body can take in and start using whey protein within just 30 to 60 minutes after eating it. For older adults looking to build muscle, this speed is a big deal. Think of it this way. After you've gone for a walk around the neighborhood or done some light gardening, your muscles are primed and ready for nutrients. Eating ricotta delivers those quick-absorbing proteins right when your muscles can use them most effectively. A half-cup serving of whole milk ricotta offers 14 grams of protein, similar to cottage cheese, but with a different amino acid profile. Ricotta is especially rich in branched-chain amino acids, a special group that can go straight to your muscle tissue without first passing through the liver, getting to work immediately on muscle repair and growth. What makes ricotta particularly valuable for older adults is its smooth, creamy texture. Many of my patients with dental issues or difficulty swallowing find it far easier to eat than other protein sources. Its naturally mild flavor won't overpower other foods, and it blends beautifully into both sweet and savory recipes. Ricotta is also naturally lower in sodium than most cheeses, only about 100 milligrams per half cup, compared to more than 400 milligrams in many others. That's an important advantage for older adults who need to watch their sodium intake for heart health and blood pressure. The research on ricotta is especially compelling. In one study, participants who ate about 3/4 of a cup daily didn't just gain muscle mass, they also improved their balance scores and overall physical performance. The men in the study saw particularly striking gains in muscle strength in just 90 days. But ricotta offers another benefit that often gets overlooked. The whey protein it contains has been shown to help lower blood pressure and support cardiovascular health. That means you're not just building muscle, you're also caring for your heart, which is an incredibly valuable combination for older adults. Ricotta is extremely versatile in the kitchen. Unlike cottage cheese, which has a very distinct curd texture, ricotta is smooth, creamy, and mild enough to work in almost any dish. For breakfast, try mixing it with a bit of honey and cinnamon, then spreading it on whole grain toast. It's like a protein-rich version of cream cheese. For lunch, ricotta makes an excellent base for dips. Just mix with herbs and serve with vegetables, or spread it in sandwiches instead of mayonnaise. At dinner, it can be stuffed into vegetables like bell peppers or zucchini, layered in casseroles, or stirred into pasta sauces to make them creamy and protein-packed. Ricotta even shines in desserts. Mix it with cocoa powder and honey for a healthy chocolate mousse, or blend with fruit for a protein-rich smoothie. Some of my patients even use it in baking, swapping part of the flour in pancakes or muffins to increase the protein content. When buying ricotta, choose whole milk versions for the most protein and satiety. The part skim types are lower in calories but may not offer the same muscle-building benefits. Look for brands with simple ingredients, just milk, vinegar or citric acid, and salt. The best time to eat ricotta is within 2 hours after any kind of physical activity. Even something light, like gardening or walking. Thanks to its fast-absorbing whey protein, ricotta delivers amino acids to your muscles quickly during that crucial window when they're most ready to repair and grow.
Now that you know which cheeses to choose, let's talk about when to eat them, because timing can make a big difference in how effective they are. Recent research has uncovered some surprising insights that challenge common beliefs about meal timing. For years, we've been told that dinner should be our largest meal of the day. But when it comes to building muscle after age 65, breakfast is actually your most important window of opportunity. Here's why this matters so much. After sleeping all night, your body has been in a fasting state for 8 to 10 hours. During that time, it's been breaking down muscle tissue to supply energy for essential functions. Your first meal of the day is your chance to flip the switch from muscle breakdown to muscle building. Research shows that older adults who consume 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast maintain far better muscle protein synthesis throughout the day than those who start with a typical low-protein meal like toast and coffee. Yet most people over 65 get only about 8 grams of protein at breakfast, nowhere near enough to trigger the muscle-building process. This is where our 3 cheeses become incredibly effective tools. A breakfast with half a cup of cottage cheese mixed with berries, topped with an ounce of freshly grated Parmesan, delivers 24 grams of high-quality protein and more than 2 grams of leucine, enough to shift your body from breaking down muscle to building it. But timing isn't just about breakfast. It's also about how you spread your protein intake across the day. Many older adults follow what I call the light, heavy pattern. Very little protein at breakfast and lunch, then a big serving of meat at dinner. Unfortunately, this approach doesn't work well for aging muscles. Your muscles can only use about 25 to 35 grams of protein at one time to build new tissue. If you eat 60 grams at dinner, your body can't save the excess for later. It's like trying to water a plant by dumping a whole bucket on it once a day, instead of giving it smaller amounts throughout the day. The best pattern for preventing muscle loss is to have 25 to 30 grams of protein at each main meal. That could mean cottage cheese with fruit at breakfast, a ricotta and vegetable sandwich at lunch, and your usual dinner topped with freshly grated Parmesan. There's another timing trick that can greatly boost your results. If you do any kind of physical activity, even just a 15-minute walk around the block or some light gardening, try to eat one of these cheeses within 2 hours afterward. Research shows that pairing physical activity with protein creates a much stronger muscle-building response than either one alone. This doesn't mean you need intense workouts. Gentle activities like walking, stretching, or doing household chores all count as muscle activity. The key is to get protein while your muscles are still in that receptive state after being active.
One of the questions I hear most often from patients is exactly how much cheese they should eat each day. Let me give you clear, practical guidelines based on what research shows works best. First, we need to determine your overall protein needs. Current recommendations for adults over 65 suggest getting 1 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. To calculate this, take your weight in pounds and divide by 2.2 to convert it to kilograms. Then multiply that number by 1.2. For example, if you weigh 150 pounds, that's about 68 kilograms. Multiply 68 by 1.2, and you'll need roughly 82 grams of protein per day. Of course, you're not going to get all of that from cheese alone. That wouldn't be a balanced diet. But cheese can supply a significant portion, especially at meals where other protein sources may be limited. Based on the research that's shown the best outcomes, I recommend aiming for 2 to 3 servings of our muscle-building cheeses each day, with each serving offering 10 to 15 grams of protein. Here's what that might look like. Half a cup of cottage cheese at breakfast, an ounce of Parmesan at lunch, and 1/3 of a cup of ricotta at dinner. Together, that gives you about 35 to 40 grams of protein from cheese, roughly half of your daily protein requirement. I know some of you may be worried about the calories and fat in cheese. It's true that cheese contains fat, but remember, we're talking about specific, controlled portions, not unlimited amounts. The total calories from the recommended cheese servings come to about 300 to 400 per day, which is very reasonable within a balanced diet. The real key is consistency. The studies showing the most impressive results had participants eating cheese every single day for at least 60 to 90 days. You can't have cheese just once or twice a week and expect big muscle gains. Think of it like taking a daily vitamin. It has to become part of your routine. I often tell my patients to view cheese as an investment in their future independence. The small amount of extra calories you eat now could mean the difference between easily climbing stairs at 80 or struggling with basic daily tasks. While the research clearly shows that cheese alone can help combat muscle loss, pairing it with the right type of exercise produces what scientists call a synergistic effect. The results are greater than what you'd get from either cheese or exercise on its own. The best type of exercise for building muscle is resistance training. Now, before you picture heavy weights and complicated gym machines, let me reassure you, resistance training for older adults can be as simple as standing up and sitting down from a chair, doing wall push-ups, or using elastic resistance bands. Here's what the research shows about this powerful combination. When you do resistance exercises and then eat one of our muscle-building cheeses within 2 hours, your muscles respond much more strongly than they would to the cheese alone. In fact, this pairing can bring back what researchers call a youthful muscle-building response, even in people over 80. The beauty of this approach is that you don't have to exercise every single day. Research shows that resistance training just 2 to 3 times per week is enough to maintain and build muscle when paired with adequate protein.
On days you don't do formal exercise, you can still eat your cheese servings to give your muscles steady nutrition. Even everyday tasks count as resistance training. Gardening, carrying groceries, climbing stairs, and vigorous housework all provide the kind of muscle stimulus that works perfectly with protein intake. The key is to keep moving and then fuel your muscles with the right nutrients.
While cheese can be a powerful ally for building muscle, there are a few important considerations, especially if you have certain health conditions or concerns. Let's begin with lactose intolerance, which often becomes more common with age. The good news is that the cheeses we've discussed are generally easier to tolerate than regular milk. Aged Parmesan has virtually no lactose left after its long aging process. Cottage cheese and ricotta do contain some lactose, but much less than milk. If you're lactose intolerant, start with small portions and see how your body responds. You can also take lactase enzyme supplements before eating cheese to help with digestion. If you have high blood pressure, sodium content is something to watch. Parmesan is naturally higher in sodium because of its aging process. Cottage cheese varies greatly between brands. Some have over 400 milligrams of sodium per half cup, while low-sodium versions can have under 100 milligrams. Ricotta is naturally lower in sodium. When possible, choose low-sodium options and balance your cheese intake with plenty of fresh fruits and vegetables. For those concerned about cholesterol, here's some reassuring news. Large-scale studies involving thousands of participants have shown that cheese, when eaten as part of a balanced diet, does not significantly increase heart disease risk for most people. The key is portion control and selecting the right varieties. Stick to the serving sizes we've discussed, and if you're especially cautious, opt for lower-fat choices like part-skim ricotta or low-fat cottage cheese. If you take blood-thinning medications, such as warfarin, it's important to keep your cheese intake consistent from day to day. Cheese contains vitamin K, which can interfere with these medications if your intake changes dramatically. The solution isn't to avoid cheese, but to eat it in steady amounts and inform your doctor that it's part of your daily diet. For anyone with kidney disease or reduced kidney function, high protein intake can be an issue. If you have any kidney-related concerns, talk to your doctor before significantly increasing your protein intake from cheese or any other source. Now let's bring all this information together into a simple, practical plan you can start using right away. I'll walk you through exactly how to fit these 3 powerful cheeses into your daily routine for maximum muscle-building benefit. Begin by turning your breakfast into a muscle-building meal. Within an hour of waking, have half a cup to a full cup of cottage cheese. Mix it with fresh berries for natural sweetness and antioxidants, or if you prefer savory flavors, combine it with chopped tomatoes and fresh herbs. If cottage cheese doesn't appeal to you at first, try spreading ricotta on whole grain toast with a drizzle of honey and a sprinkle of cinnamon. The aim is to get 25 to 30 grams of protein at breakfast to kickstart your muscle-building process for the day. For lunch, look for creative ways to incorporate Parmesan into whatever you're eating. Grate a generous ounce over salads, soups, or sandwiches. The rich, savory flavor boosts satisfaction and enhances the taste of other foods. If you're having a lighter lunch, consider using ricotta as a spread or as the base for a vegetable dip. Remember, you want another 25 to 30 grams of protein at this meal to keep muscle support steady. At dinner, use cheese strategically to increase the protein content of your evening meal. If you're having pasta, stir ricotta into the sauce for both creaminess and protein. If vegetables are your main side, top them generously with freshly grated Parmesan. If your main dish already has plenty of protein from meat or fish, you might just add a small amount of cheese or save your serving for an evening snack. Keep these muscle-building cheeses on hand for snacks as well. Small containers of cottage cheese, pre-portioned ricotta, or chunks of Parmesan can give you quick nutrition after physical activity or between meals when you need an energy boost. For example, you might spend 10 minutes doing simple exercises like standing up and sitting down in a chair 10 times, doing 10 wall push-ups, and lifting your arms up and down with light weights or even water bottles. This gentle routine might take only about 10 minutes. If you follow it with a snack of cottage cheese or a meal that includes Parmesan or ricotta, your muscles will use that protein far more effectively than if you'd eaten the cheese after sitting still all day. It's like the exercise wakes up your muscles, making them more receptive to the nutrients you give them. I suggest keeping a simple journal for the first few weeks. Write down which cheeses you ate, how much you had, and when you ate them. After 2 weeks, start noticing any changes in your energy, how daily activities feel, or your general sense of strength. After 30 days, you may find that tasks like carrying groceries or getting up from a chair feel a little easier. By 90 days, you should see noticeable improvements in muscle strength and overall physical function. As we wrap up, here are clear, specific action steps you can take today to begin your muscle-building cheese journey. First, head to your grocery store and pick up all 3 cheeses we've talked about: cottage cheese, authentic Parmesan, and ricotta cheese. Buy enough to last at least a week so you can try different ways of eating them and discover what you enjoy most. Second, calculate your daily protein needs using the simple formula I shared earlier. Write that number down and place it somewhere you'll see every day, like on your refrigerator, as a daily reminder of your goal. Third, plan tomorrow's meals so that each one contains 25 to 30 grams of protein, with at least one of our 3 muscle-building cheeses included. Fourth, if you're not already doing any physical activity, start with just 5 minutes of simple movements. This could be standing up and sitting down from a chair, doing wall push-ups, or lifting light weights or water bottles. Aim to do this only 2 or 3 times this week, nothing overwhelming. Fifth, mark your calendar for 90 days from now. That's when you'll take a moment to assess how you feel, how much stronger you've become, and what changes you've noticed in your daily life. Many people are truly amazed at the transformation they experience in just 3 months. Muscle loss is not an unavoidable part of aging. By including these 3 cheeses in your daily diet, along with the strategies I've shared today, you can preserve and even rebuild muscle mass well into your 70s, 80s, and beyond. The science supports it, the method is straightforward, and the potential for positive change is real. But knowledge alone won't help. You have to take action. Will you pick up cottage cheese and have it for breakfast tomorrow? Will you sprinkle freshly grated Parmesan over your lunch? Will you commit to 90 days of steady cheese intake to discover what's truly possible for your body? I believe you will, because I believe everyone deserves to age with strength, confidence, and independence. These 3 simple cheeses can be your partners in that mission. Use them wisely, use them consistently, and be ready to be amazed at how your body responds. Your muscles are waiting for the nutrients they need to repair and grow stronger. With cottage cheese, Parmesan, and ricotta in your corner, you have everything you need to succeed. It's never too late to start building muscle, and now you know exactly how to do it. Thank you for spending this time with me. Here's to your health, your strength, and many more years of independence and vitality ahead. Now go enjoy some cheese. Your future self will thank you.